2923rd edition of Short-Term Trading Live with Oscar Carboni. Traders, thank you as always for tuning in. Your comments have been fantastic. As you know, I will reply to all of your comments personally, so please keep them coming. Like and share these videos, and remember, there's a lot of risk involved in trading. Risky. Never take on a position long or short without putting a protective stop in first. If you know that, you'll live a lot longer in this business. Let's get moving. For June 6th, which is a Friday, 2025, video number 2923, we've got a couple of topics, and I'm going to talk to you about them right now. On the board, 1, the Omni says continue to sell the rallies again in even the S&P and NASDAQ, and it sure did work on Thursday, didn't it? Thank you for that call, Omni. Omni, once again, for day trading, says sell those rallies again. Don't be afraid. Sell into those rallies on Friday. You know, we always put a stop in first, so it's never more than just a one bad day's trade, even if it goes bad, right? Just a day trade, and we live to fight another day. Stops in first, but we will sell rallies, even the S&P, NASDAQ, maybe Russ, if we can get a fill. Number 2 on the board. Bitcoin not so shiny. It looks a whole lot like these guys right now. I don't like the way Bitcoin looks for Friday. Omni wants me to sell rallies there as well. One of the things about Bitcoin that you may remember is lately, in the last year or so, it does not drop lower than its previous dip, right? It makes a new high, comes down, but it comes down and it's higher than its last plateau. Then it makes a new high. It's only going to give us another buying opportunity when it comes down far enough, right? You gotta love Bitcoin. Number 3 on the board, I've had a lot of questions about T-bonds. Oscar, what do you think about T-bonds? Bigger question is, Oscar, what do you think about the refinancing that the government has to do? Big multi-trillion-dollar refinancing coming up. And my answer is always the same. Since when does the Fed need us mere mortals to tell them how to refinance anything? You know what I mean? They've been doing all right. You know, 1987, they didn't need my advice when we had the savings and loans debacle. They didn't need me for the trade centers crash. They didn't need any of us to figure out when the dot-com bubble broke. They didn't need us in 2008 to figure that one out. They didn't need us during COVID. They don't need us today, but we've got suggestions on what they should do. They should make the bond futures go up before the refinancing, so that when they do refinance, as bond futures go up, interest rates drop, the interest rate will be cheaper. That's about all I can say. I can't tell the Fed what to do. I'm a mere mortal. But if you do need answers, I'll show them to you in the chart segment. So, Omni says sell the rallies, even the S&P, NASDAQ. Bitcoin does not look so good either. This is for Friday. But bonds are slowly heading in the right direction. And why I mean the right direction is, if bond futures go up, interest rates inherently come down whether or not Jerome Powell or the Fed says a word. So when interest rates go up, it's when bonds are going down. When interest rates go down, it's when bonds are going up. And here's the gig. The Fed's window is offering money at 4.5% to banks. When bonds go down, banks get to charge 9%, 8.5%, even though they're borrowing it at the same price. It's a game that we can't seem to get out of. But if the Fed can get the bonds to go higher, we'd all be okay with that. Anyway, it's not really our thing to do, right? We're not big banks, and we're not the Fed. All we can do is be mere mortals and trade their action. Anyway, you'll see that in the chart segment. So, here's another fantastic thing. Traders, real-time trading recs from the Omni. I send out real-time trading recommendations direct to you day and night. I send them all over the world at the same time, and there is no retracting them. There is no saying, ooh, just kidding, we didn't lose today. That shit doesn't happen when you send it to people all over the world and you're live on camera and microphone with them looking at you. This is as real as it gets. So, one of the things that just happened, I just received an email, and I will not out this person's full name, but I will tell you Richard sent me an email. Hi, Oscar. Woohoo! I won the May Dow pinning competition I told you about last email. Learning to use your Omni calls, this has given me second place in March, second place in April, and first place in May from about 30 to 35 contestants using my Rex. He came in number 1. Omni trading recommendations in January. If you follow the Omni signals that go out, We calculate this with one lot only, the smallest denomination you could possibly think of. That's all we calculate the Omni trades based on. The trades go out. Lots of people trade 2s, 3s, 5s. You know how to do the math on this, right? So I sent out trading signals in the month of January, and if you followed them all, you could have made $10,000 for the month of Jan. If you follow the Omni Trade Rex in the month of Feb, $19,000 could have come your way. If you followed the Omni Rex in March, $7,512. What's crazy about that is the badge I've been wearing since I'm a 21-year-old kid is that number. And the Omni year-end call, which you may or may not be able to see right now, is that same number, 7512. Wow, right? That's an omen, and I wrote omen next to that. Then the month of April came in and Trump did that craziness and we're going tariff crazy. And the Omni called the markets perfectly, but I got stopped out in that crazy volatility. A losing month. First one of the year, we lost $8,616 in April. Then I stood in front of the camera and said, we shook that out, an early loss of the year. I love it. We're going to kick this ass. We're going to kick this market's ass in May. You'll see how the Omni operates. April, we had a little... Watch what happens in May. Well, the totals are in, kids. I have my totals from Omni that get sent out all over the world, 2 separate entities. Look at these totals. They total up the month. They come up with a total. They come up with a total. They meet together. If those totals match, they give them to me. I would like to now present you with that total, but drum roll first, please, baby. Let's see what we got. And the number is $20,402 made following the Omni Rex in the month of May. Thank you very much. June, we're already having a banner month. Go, baby, go. $20,400 plus made in May. How about that, traders? That can happen to you. All you've got to do is go to livewithoscar.com, literally register. You may get an email that goes to spam. You will get an email that may go to spam. Check your spam. Come right back to my site, Live with Oscar. You can join my free trading room. From there, we can easily point you towards the daily recommendations. Don't you want to make $20,000 for the month of May? How about June? Would you like that? I can't promise it. In fact, I can't promise we won't lose. But we usually don't. And we're already up so far for the month of June. So rock and roll Omni, viva la Omni. Head down, nose to the grindstone, on to the next trade. Anyhow, if you need that, come join me. Traders, we're about to go look at some great charts. I want to remind you to keep your emotions out of trading. We're going to do that exercise that you know by now first, and then we'll look at some great charts. Are you with me? 1, 2, 3. Stop, sir. Emotions are rock and roll, traders. Now let's go look at some charts. Omniacs. So here we go. My printer's on the fritz tonight. We'll do one of these shoots, which is a desktop shoot, but it's just as informative, I promise you. So we are looking at the E-mini S&P, and what I was talking about was that the Omni wants to sell rallies, and we're day traders, so it doesn't matter how bullish it's been overall. We take the Omni signals day by day. Omni says sell the rallies again on Friday. It worked very well on Thursday, right? Omniacs, am I wrong? Great trade Thursday. Viva la Omni. Here we are again Friday. Omni wants the same sort of action. Sell the rallies. All right, so if we can get a fill in S&P, NASDAQ, Ross, something like that, we will sell the rallies. Omni's expecting something like this today. Now, it's been bouncing around inside of this wedge, and it looks like it may want to come out for a day. I'm only looking for a day trade here, but Omni's expecting something like this. Remember, we have reports tomorrow morning. Reports give Omniacs great fills. You know that's my adage. Those orders should be in before that report comes out. Do not let reports scare you, kids. Whatever's going to happen, we'll have stops in. Don't sweat that, right? We know about risk. We put stops in. So, E-mini S&P, Thursday night to Friday, we will sell the rallies because Omni tells us to, and we are day traders, and we follow those daily signals. Please leave your comments on this video, like and share them. That really helps the algorithms. We'd appreciate it. Let's go look at another chart. For you crypto fans, Bitcoin, This one I don't love so much, kids. Bitcoin, you see this fantastic average that we've used from all the way back here. Way back, right? Great average all the way through. And then here it becomes a fantastic average, the way it holds and stops the market from going up and again and just works all the way. And then once we finally get above, it's like a boom, right? We put out 2 targets as soon as we get above that average in Bitcoin. Right here, we give out 2 targets. 94,200, then 102,000. We hit 94.2, bam, we hit 102, bam. Then I put up ultimately 121. We've gotten as high as 112 and change so far. But something happened. We fell out of this wonderful channel that we've been working inside of. Boom, out of the channel, and now we're below our beloved average. So the Omni's expecting a day on Friday to look something maybe like this in Bitcoin. Then there was another question posed to me about another market, so I'll bring that one to light as well, and that was the 30-year T-bond market. 2 things, Oscar, what do you think about the refinancing the government has to do? And I usually say to things like that, you know, the Fed's never needed our help individually before. They seem to get through all of these occasions. They probably don't need our individual advice from mere mortals on this one either. But there is an answer, so let me give it to you. Right now, T-bonds are doing something interesting. We want T-bonds to go up, T-bond futures. Why? Because I promise you this is exactly how it works. The Fed does not have to do anything with rates. When T-bond futures go down, rates go up. When T-bond futures go up, rates go down with or without Jerome Powell or the Fed saying a word. This is what happens. When the market goes down, the banks charge us more for mortgages and interest rate returns, and interest rates, I should say. When we go up, the rate drops. We've come down, back up, down. Now, this is a weekly chart, so these bars are meaningful. We are heading back up lately. We'd love to see not only here, but for the refinancing right about here. If the Fed can get 30-year bond futures somewhere near the 120, 121 mark, which isn't all that far away, the refinancing won't be so bad, and the government will be in a better shape at that moment in time. So if we could get bond futures to go a bit higher before the government refinancing, that would be my answer. It would help the government lots, and I think banks and the Fed will have to or coordinate something to make that happen. I don't know that. I'm expecting that. For now, though, the technical picture is we're bouncing off these lows, right? Bam, nice bounce. Bam, decent bounce. Bam, let's see if we get another nice bounce, and with the Fed's help, maybe get ourselves up there. And if the bond market goes up, it will help the stock market, because when bonds go up, interest rates go down, and that buoys the stock market. The whole thing ties together. That's out for next week. We're bearish for trading on Friday, the stocks. Traders, I hope that helps. Remember, stops are in. Emotions are out. Rock and roll. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you all at livewithoscar.com.